We're here at the PVR for the very special screening of the feature film by Gehan Kure, The Billionaire, the story that talks about morals, money, and matrimony. It's going to be an exciting night. Stay tuned. Beautiful Shazana with us right now. So tell me, what did you think about The Billionaire?
I liked it, and I think it's difficult to transfer a stage play to the screen, and I think Gehan has done a really good job doing that. So I'm a fan of that, transfer, to be honest.
And what did you think of Gehan Kure?
Well, I've known him since childhood, so my judgment is clouded. But I think he's a very good singer and performer, and an actor as well. So.
We have the beautiful and very talented Soundari with us right now. What are your thoughts about the movie?
Well, it was obviously a very intense movie and obviously catering to a very niche market audience. But I think if he was targeting that audience, he definitely nailed it. It's not one of those movies where you can afford to be distracted using your phone or with anything else. So you have to be totally focused. It is a great adaptation of the Bernard Shaw play, and I think Gehan has done us all proud by taking it up there and getting Sri Lanka recognized on the world map.
We have the most amazing, wonderful, handsome, talented, this gorgeous man, Gehan Kure, with us right now. And I must say, you truly moved every one of us. Just take us through your journey with The Billionaire.
First of all, thank you so much. Your eyes say it all. I'll never forget your facial reaction. Thank you so much. Because, this was a very, on the one hand, a daunting journey. It took me several years. There were times where I thought I would never reach the finish line. But I always knew that I was creating something of quality, something of artistic merit. And I think that's what really propelled me through all those years. And I never thought that I would be able to take it all the way to the Oscars, which was, talk about the ultimate validation in a world where, like I said, most people are validated by, YouTube likes and Facebook likes. But to take this to, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, and, and I knew that, there were times where people said this is not going to be a commercial movie. But I never intended it to be a commercial movie. I intended it to be a movie that would, appeal to people like you who know how to think and know how to feel. Because I think George Bernard Shaw, upon whose play I, adapted this film, I think he always said that art should really inspire the viewer to think more nobly and feel more deeply. And that was one of my goals when I made this film, if I can compel the audience to think more nobly and feel more deeply. And, for example, the character I play, the billionaire, is not very likable. He's very haughty, very narcissistic. He can be, a little vindictive, etc. But there's an inherent nobility to him, and, the way he expresses himself. Originally, it was a female character, the millionaireess, George Bernard Shaw's original character. And, so I wanted the audience to know that even if you're expressing something controversial, there's a way to express it with dignity and elegance, the way the title character here does, the billionaire. And also, transforming Bernard Shaw's original millionaireess into a billionaire, into a male character. I wanted the audience to know that the essence of a human being is the essence of a human being. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, because a person's soul and a person's mind no gender, So honestly, thank you for your comments. They really mean everything to me. I am the most interesting young man in America. While other teenagers were watching porn, I was studying opera.
Douce flamme, resta dans mon âme.
I was like a prince in a modern fairy tale, offering all eligible gay men alive my hand and fortune if they passed my father's test. I'm to give you $10,000. In 6 months, you are to increase it to $3 million.
One other question that I wanted to ask you was your journey with the billionaire, the character himself. You know, like you said, he's not very liked, he's not really likable, but you can't help but fall in love with him in the end. Was it challenging for you to take the audience to that journey?
I would say I tried to approach the character as honestly as possible, as authentically as possible. You know, because I think there are some actors who, when they know that the character can be unlikable, they try to infuse the character with their own personality, their own charm or their own shtick, as it were. And here I was like, no, I'm going to trust that the character can speak for himself, and that if I allow the character to unfold organically and authentically, then, you know, hopefully people like you in the audience would appreciate that. And perhaps it's the character's authenticity that helped you to fall in love with him, right? And I think also one of my acting professors at the University of Southern California, where I studied acting and cinema, always used to, you know, tell his students, the actor must never judge the characters. I'm a pure romantic, and I've never needed anything beyond kissing and cuddling to feel happy with a man.
And Alexander knew that you were, well, essentially asexual when he married you?
Every man I've ever gone out with on a date has known that.
Oh, I Scum! Filth! Take that for saying he never made anything!
I was upstairs. The sound was of somebody falling downstairs.
He's murdering me! He's mad! Dirt! Carrion!
So I tried to always look at it from the character's point of view, not how someone looking at it from the outside would perceive or judge the character, but I always played the character in terms of how he sees the world, how he sees life. And, you know, I think that's what allowed you to fall in love with the character. And I think, I mean, I did infuse some of Gehan Kure's heart and soul into it, you know, because I think even Stanislavski used to say that the best acting is when you become more like the character and the character becomes more like you, where you kind of meet halfway. It starts with you immersing yourself in the character, of course, and then you see how much of yourself can fuse with the character, rather like a marriage, you know. And marriage is one of the major themes in the movie, and really that meeting, merging of two souls. So I think, yeah, the Stanislavski acting metaphor also applies to the marriage metaphor in the movie about how two people meet, and yes.
Fantastic. And what's next for you, Gehan?
So I do have a CD coming out, an album, which I finished recording in Los Angeles. Hopefully over the next few months we can release that as well. It'll have like a mixture of classical pieces, operatic arias, old Broadway songs. It's more of like a vintage album. But even the classical and operatic pieces, we did modernize the arrangements to an extent, which was not my idea. The producer said, let's, you know, like incorporate some jazz, incorporate some modern sounds into the operatic arias. Because, you know, if we are to carry the art form over to the next generation, I think we have to keep in mind that what worked 100 or 200 years ago won't necessarily translate, you know, to the next generation. So, and of course, I do fully intend to make more movies going forward, but I would like to say that I'm going to take my time with them and do them properly, not just churn out movie after movie just for the sake of, you know, making movies.
honor to be interviewing you, sir. And with your talent and expertise and knowledge, what are your thoughts about the Billionaire movie?
Of the movie. Well, first of all, as I told everyone, Gian is my friend, and he made this movie. It's a very unusual movie. He had the guts and the audacity to make it, which makes me very proud of him. And Gian is a passionate boy with something to say, and I think he did a good job. There's going to be a niche market. Everybody might not understand the movie or maybe not appreciate it, but there's going to be a certain segment of the population that will. And also, this is something that is happening all over the world, but we don't express it, or we don't tell that story. He has been able to do it. He's got the passion for movies, and I think he's done a good job. It's his first film, and I think there's a lot to look forward to towards him for future and his filmmaking career. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm a big fan of his.
And talking about the future of Sri Lankan film and acting or performance and arts, do you think projects or movies like this is required simply because it will challenge the norm?
Well, you know, today the way we see movies has changed. So all these movies might not end up on the big screen, but it's not necessary to be ending up on the big screen. It is on the streaming systems on various formats, and then there is a market for it. So controversial movies, movies that action movies, dramas, comedies. There's a place for every movie, and now we have the opportunity to see it on the handphone or at home on the TV. That's where the way it's going. So, but although we might say, oh, we can't, we like to go to the movies. I like to go to the movies to a dark room and see a movie. We all do, but life is changing, and but the advantage there, the plus point is that all these movies will have an audience. Maybe a smaller audience, maybe a bigger audience, but they'll have the opportunity to see it rather than going to a cinema itself. So life is changing, everything is changing, the mode of watching is changing, and the product is changing. So let's see what happens.
Amazing fans indeed for the Billionaire. So tell me, what did you think about the movie?
I think it's brilliant. You know, I'm so happy for Gian because I knew Gian as almost a baby. You know, I'm so happy every time I see him, even when he has his singing and when he performed at Jetwing Hotels. You know, I was there, and he always calls. And of course, even at the Bishop's College when he had his show, I mean, like he invites. He's like basically like my son. I love him so much. I'm so proud and I'm happy. Thank you.
And overall, what did you think of his performance?
It was fabulous. I would allow everybody to come back and revisit because it's so fabulous. And especially for current day and age, it's really an eye-opener because sexuality is not spoken in Sri Lanka. And I think everybody, it's a niche market movie, but I suggest everybody to come and watch it. And I wish Gihan the very best. And we're waiting for the next episode. Thank you so much.
How did you know that is one of my favorite arias?
Did you hurt yourself?
Do you think your father's money places you above the law?
Okay! I made a solemn promise to my father on his deathbed.
Stop. I made a solemn promise to my mother on her deathbed.
What? I'm entitled to compensation, and I will have it!
Please.
She was a pillar of the Roman Catholic Church, but she also realized that no amount of holy water would change the fact that I'm gay.
It's been an amazing night. The Billionaire just simply showcased the in-depth issues that centers around Sri Lanka and around the world. A story of money, morals, and matrimony. If you haven't seen it, all the more reason for you to see it. The Billionaire by Gehan Kure. Until next time, this is Dana signing off for Hi TV.